Hello, how you doing? I hope you're all good. Just jumping on here in my almost empty house before we make the move across to the other side of the city. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on. I've been going on about it a lot recently, but I wanted to jump on and just talk about pricing again one more time, as it's such a huge thing within the creative industries. And the way that we price really is just sort of broken, basically. It's broken across a lot of industries, but in the creative industries, it gets kind of heightened by the fact that creative work is often undervalued by people, and they don't always see not the skill that goes into it, but they don't always see it as a necessity, right? It's something that's kind of like associated with stuff like entertainment, in film, in music, in art, and it's like, oh, we can kind of live without that. And so that's what often pushes the value down in how people perceive it. And it's a real struggle when you see people who are amazing at what they do, who make amazing content, whether that's for businesses or for other kind of customers, and it brings joy and it brings profit and it brings all of these things to people's lives, and they're still getting kickback on price from the people that they work for. Because sometimes you see people selling sort of a day of their time for kind of peanuts, and especially in the B2B world, which is where I work, they're making money for businesses, but they're selling their time and they're selling it really, really, really low. And I've mentioned this before in other videos, but it's because of the way that there's no connection between the video and the photos that are being taken and the money that the businesses are making. The business owners don't see this connection, and the person making the content doesn't see this connection. But the fact is, businesses do make huge amounts of money, and they stand to make huge amounts of money from the content that we make. They help them in so many perceived and unperceived ways. So directly, there'll be improved engagement when it's done in the right way. There will be increased amounts of trust built with their customers. There'll be so many things happening in their business as a result of good content being shot. It really is just a matter of being able to see these connections, measure these connections, and point these things out. Because, and this is the harsh truth, the most of the photographers and videographers that I speak to and work with, they don't understand their place within the business system. They don't see themselves as part of the marketing strategy. They don't see themselves as part of the business's content marketing. They're not able to see it themselves, and they're not able to point it out to the businesses that they work with, and nobody knows what's going on. Nobody sees just how valuable this content is. Sure, it looks nice, great video, lovely photos, but it's not being seen for what it is, which is one of the most sort of fundamental value driving factors in business. And making these connections is the only way out of the pricing trap. Until we can point out to people what happened when we put this in, this is what we achieved, okay? Until we can do that, we're always going to be pricing on time. Always. The only way out of the trap is to be able to show what it did, how it works, and how valuable it was. So we can do this with the content that we're making already, absolutely, by measuring it. And even better is to create content that is a real value driver. If we do that and we start with that intention from the very beginning, then we're able to prove the value of the work that we do even more, charge even more, and forget about this putting dollar values on the time that you spend, which doesn't even cover the costs or cover the overheads that you've invested into your business anyway. So it really is about focusing on the content that drives value most for businesses. So I'd love to hear your experience on this. How do you track what you do? Can you track what you do? What would be a good way maybe moving forward to start sort of tracking the impact of your work? It could be a really simple fix. So I'd love to know in the comments how you're approaching that already, or whether it's something you've thought about. I know a lot of the video strategists that I speak to, they do this in some ways with trackable ROI on the stuff that they do. But I'd love to know how that's helped you with your pricing structure and how scalable it's made your pricing if it's something you're implementing already. So yeah, drop something in the comments. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day.